So I've lost 130 pounds and kept it off for 8 years. But there are actually some ways that losing weight made my life worse that I want to share with you. There are 5 of them. The first one is that I developed severe anxiety. So I had anxiety like my whole life, but it was always kind of like mild. It wasn't really anything that I couldn't like deal with. But once I lost the weight, I started noticing like an increase year after year that my anxiety was getting worse. And at first I couldn't really figure it out. And then I was like, oh, it clicked. I had a serious battle with emotional eating, a serious struggle pretty much my entire life since I was like really young. I was no longer using the food to cope. So my anxiety went through the roof. I was numbing that anxiety with food. And that was the reason why I was gaining so much weight, was because I was using the food to deal with my anxiety and trauma from a childhood. It was numbing that so I wasn't feeling the anxiety, and I was kind of like hiding under my weight from all of that. So once I lost the weight and I was no longer using the food, I had no coping mechanisms. So, I wasn't sleeping well. I started really clenching my teeth at night when I was sleeping. I was doing a lot of overthinking, a lot of worrying, and so much stress. And then even though at first I was like, I don't know if I like this. Like, I didn't have anxiety when I, was using food, when I was overweight. But then I realized, like, if I hadn't have gone through that and lost the weight, it wouldn't have forced me to deal with the anxiety, even though I didn't want to. That was one of the biggest reasons why I'd been using food in the first place. So it uncovered it so that I could actually look at it and start dealing with it. And I'm grateful for that. It's not easy, and some days it can still be quite a struggle, the anxiety, but I'm grateful for it now, and I look at it kind of like my friend instead of my enemy, and I go, okay, what is it that I'm not looking at that the anxiety is bringing up, or the old emotional eating thoughts in my head going, you should probably eat because you're having a bad day or something's going wrong. I thank that now and look at it and use it to sort of work through those things. Some of the ways that I cope with my anxiety now, I love to read, and I'm reading things like The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle and Letting Go by David Hawkins, and those have really helped me. Also, there's something about jazz. I have like Kenny G Greatest List. What is it called? Kenny G Greatest Hits playlist on YouTube, and there's something about it that just calms me right down. My cardio, like walking, weight training, all of those things, I kind of get any stress out doing those things. I also used to journal. I still do a little bit, but mostly now like YouTube's kind of my journal where like I share like this. I couldn't do that before. I kept everything in, and then I started writing it out when I couldn't talk it out. Now I can talk it out, talk it to Kyle, talk it out to you guys, and those are some of the things that help me cope with that. The second one is that I obviously, after losing a lot of weight, I have loose skin. I have toned a lot of it up with weight training by building muscle, but I have loose skin on my thighs. My thighs, when I was bigger, they did rub together because I was morbidly obese, but now I have a lot of loose skin there that I just can't tone and I can't remove without surgery, and I don't really care to go that route. So at night, when it's hot, like in the summer, they rub together so much that it becomes quite uncomfortable. Like, because I wear shorts to sleep. If I can wear pants in the winter so it doesn't bother me, but when I'm wearing shorts to sleep at night, they do rub together and they do wake me up because they're rubbing together. But what I have found is baby powder, which Kyle showed me because of his loose skin. So I took that tip from him. I use baby powder on my thighs to sleep at night, and then also putting a light blanket or a light pillowcase in between my legs at night. That really helps as well. And then it allows me to sleep without like the rubbing together. Number 3. People look at me more now and give me more attention. So I have always been an introvert, a live inside my head kind of girl. When I was little, I had a lot of trauma, so I built this world in my head, and I lived there pretty much my whole life. And I did use my weight to hide. It might sound funny, but I used my weight to make myself super small so that I could hide and, you know, then not be judged by people, because that was always my biggest fear, was being judged by people and not being good enough. So once I lost the weight, people started seeing me more. I wasn't invisible anymore, and it's difficult. I still have a hard time, like, if I'm doing cardio out in public, like, I still have to remind myself to put my head up, because most of my life, I'm 40, I probably spent 30 years with my head down, and it's very difficult. I have to remind myself all the time, Nicole, keep your head up, keep your head up. You're allowed to be seen. And so it's beautiful, because them seeing me means I've worked through a lot of stuff so that I know I'm worth it to be seen now, but I still have to remind myself, you are good enough to be seen. Keep your head up, make eye contact. I can look in a camera, but looking in people's eyes in public is still really hard. Like, I often am like not looking, and I'm like, you gotta look up. You're allowed to be seen, you know. And so I do actually thank that attention now, just like the anxiety, because it helps me remember I still have some people-pleasing trauma stuff that I have to work through, and this is really helping me do that. And every day I practice, like, holding my head up, looking in people's eyes, and making eye contact, and remembering that I'm worth it to be seen. I do get treated better now that I'm smaller than when I did when I was bigger, and I wasn't used to that. Like, Kyle, he's lost the same amount of weight as me, and, you know, at stores, people will come up to us, they'll want to talk to us, or, like, you know, cashiers or anyone will want to strike up a conversation, and or in the forest where we're walking, we might come off as rude, but we don't mean that. We're used to hiding. We're not used to, like, talking to people. Like, we're introverts. We're used to pretending to be invisible. So sometimes we're like, oh yeah, like, we're being seen now. It's okay to be seen. We can talk to people, you know, like, so we're still, even though we're in our 40s, we're still learning about that. Number 4, once I started to lose the weight, I was always spending money on clothes, and I didn't realize I was a size 24 and I'm a size 4 now. As I started dropping down in sizes, I didn't realize how fast it would go, and how many sizes of clothing that I would have to buy. Now, when I was dropping from a size 24, I stayed, you know, dropping into plus sizes as I went along. And where I lived in Canada, there wasn't a whole lot of plus size options that were decent price. Like, you had to spend a lot of money. So it was kind of annoying, because I had to keep spending a lot of money to get the clothes, but at the same time, I was obviously super grateful and proud of myself for how far I was going. As I got into regular sizes, like, I had more cheaper options, but it was I didn't realize how much money I would be spending, but now that I look at it, that's a small price to pay for being in a body that I can move around and function on a daily basis, doing, you know, normal things like bending down to tie my shoes, which I couldn't do before. So that money is nothing compared to, like, the health problems I was causing myself by being morbidly obese. And number 5, the pressure to be fit. Once I lost the weight, I started feeling this pressure to, like, stay that same weight. 145 pounds was my, you know, weight. Once I got down from 275 to 145, I felt like I needed to stay there forever, especially because, like, I'm on YouTube, and I feel like I will fail people if I fluctuate in weight, but weight fluctuations are normal. So, I don't always stay at 145, especially if I'm putting on muscle. Sometimes my weight's a little higher, and I'm more fit, but sometimes because my weight's higher, I don't feel like I'm fit. So, you know, those are some of the things that made it challenging, but I would never go back. I would never trade losing weight for the world, because I was morbidly obese and my weight was causing me serious health problems. If I could choose again, I would choose the exact same path. I'm grateful. Like, the loose skin is a mark of how far I've come. Reminders of that I love myself now. all of those things, the anxiety, they helped me go deeper because I was hiding things under the surface deeper. And also losing the weight, I had sleep apnea so bad, I was stopping breathing 7 times a night. I was partially stopping breathing 84 times a night. And this won't happen for everyone, but I was medically cleared once I lost the weight. I don't need a CPAP machine. I don't need a CPAP machine to breathe at night in my sleep anymore. And I am forever grateful for that. And please don't let any of these things, if you're trying to lose weight, don't let any of these things stop you. 100%, I feel amazing and I am so proud of myself for doing it. And any of these things, they're markers of how far I've come. And please, weight loss is not a punishment. You're allowed to love it, love the journey. Pace yourself. Yes, there are going to be side effects that you're not expecting, but embrace them because it means that you've come far. If you want to know exactly what I ate, the exact portions and meals that I ate to lose the weight, you can buy my weight loss ebook called The First 50. The link is down below, and code Nicole will save you 10% off. I also have HTLT steps. This is the G coffee creamer. The 3.5 grams of protein per scoop, mocha latte flavor. It's amazing. Plus it's got nootropics for like memory, focus, and clarity. They also have like all kinds of supplements like protein powder. They just came out with collagen with protein in it. A ton of supplements. Code Nicole will save you 10%. The link is down below. Check out this vid and this vid for more fun, sustainable weight loss tips, more vids like this. It's all there to show you that weight loss does not have to be a punishment. You're allowed to love it. I love you. Thanks for watching. You're cute. I'll catch you in the next vid, cutie. Peace. See ya. Remember, the friends, that weight loss isn't just about the number on the scale. It's also about here and here. Heart and mindset. Fight through it. You can do it.